I mean, I feel like maybe for Kissing Booth, when I read the script and Marco was described as this just like God, and I was like, oh, okay, well, guess we have to gotta get to work. Hey, I'm Taylor Zakhar Perez, and I'm gonna show you how I work out. I feel like I was forced into fitness. I was like a chubby kid and my parents were like, you need to be in a sport. So I chose swimming and I swam for 10 years at like a very high level. I think just having that 5 a.m. practice every day and 2 p.m. practice, so like being in the pool for 3.5 hours a day all year created that pattern that I just always want to be having like some kind of routine going. On red white, I get picked up at 4:30 in the morning sometimes and get home by 7. So it's really just dedication. I always ask to stay in a place that has like a gym in there, or I'll go steal kettlebells from the gym and bring them in my room and get up at 3 in the morning and work out for 45 minutes. Because for me, it just is like the day starter. Like it gets everything flowing in your body, like the synovial fluid in your body, it gets your brain going and just firing. Because if I wake up groggy and you have to go on set and you have to say lines, it's just kind of a miserable day. Even if it's a day, you succeeded in the morning, you know, your 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock workout, and it kind of makes everything feel better. I travel a lot. Sometimes it's hard to be consistent. Like if I'm not home and if I'm not taking a class or like have my Peloton or something like that, just something that's normal to access. So I thought today would be cool to do a leg workout that wasn't crazy machine heavy, and incorporating some cardio with some strength and like something that you can kind of do anywhere. Okay, so today's warm-up is a functional football training, and so we're gonna start with scoops, which I think really likes to, loosen up the full back of the leg. My philosophy around fitness now, I think it's definitely shifted. Like I used to spend maybe 2.5 hours at the gym. It was like a social thing, hang out with your boys and you weight lift, and now I'm like hour and 15 minutes max. I think I've just really shifted my focus on what I'm putting into my body, what I'm eating, so then I don't have to go to the gym as much and still maintain my physique. And this is a quad stretch with a calf raise, with a big reach to the ceiling. My mom always said it's all about moderation. Eggs in the morning with avocado and like maybe some type of toast. Lunch is like a pretty big lunch, and then try to eat less for dinner, which is really hard. Try to stay away from wheat, unless it's like out of Europe. If it's like a semolina flour from Italy, I'm like, okay, like it doesn't mess with my body as much. Side to side lunges, pivoting, back and forth. I usually do this for like 20 yards. So you get like a real good stretch and a good warm up. Growing up, my mom was really mindful on health. Like she was an organic nut. Organic treats, and our breakfast cereals were organic. And we just thought it was like, I don't say it's not cool, just people weren't eating like that. And so for us, we wanted like those Lunchables, we wanted the Gushers, fruit by the foot. And she's like, I'm not buying that for you. So we go to our friends' houses and eat that all the time. Like I remember our friends had like this giant snack drawer of like Costco size junk food, and it was incredible. And then an active runner's lunge with a chest opener. Now we have a back lunge with a twist on both sides. I mean, I feel like maybe for Kissing Booth, when I read the script and Marco was described as this just like God, and I was like, oh, okay, well, guess we have to gotta get to work. After I was cast, we had about a month. And so I was already kind of in good shape, but I just had to like maybe get it a little bit tighter. From that, I just wanted to stay in shape, because when I don't work out, like my body feels it. Like my lower back or my legs are just like, I'm always trying to be like, just always moving the body on a daily basis. All right, so this first exercise is a hip thruster. Usually, if you need a pad to put on your hips so you don't hurt yourself. If you don't have one of the bar pads, I would just grab a yoga mat, because they're pretty much in every gym. Finished swimming and I was like, okay, I guess it's time to go to the gym, but I just didn't do it correctly. Learning actually was tough because I hurt my back multiple times, like threw my neck out just because of improper lifting. For me now at 32, I'm like, okay, this is the body that I have for the rest of my life and I just have to protect it. And so now instead of like lifting very heavily, I just lift enough to challenge myself, not hurt myself, because I think it's good for everything about in your body is just to have a good workout. We're gonna do some cable machine single leg back lunges. All right, usually I'll do this with the bar at an angle, but since we don't have the holder for it today, we're gonna do it on the cable machine and make sure it's a nice solid weight that one leg can handle and just kind of burn it out with like 8 to 12 reps. I think leg day is like the most important day, just for strengthening obviously, but just keeping your body, I think either at the age that you are or keeping it younger than you are. And I think like that is the key to having and living like a long and healthy, comfortable life. This one I hate. It's a resistance band trainer. Resistance training is tough, and I like to incorporate this into my leg days. You're kind of just always active while you're on this piece of equipment. So you kind of step back a little bit and make sure it's tight, and you do side to side steps. And you can also jump. It's like a resisted jump and it pulls you right back down, and it's difficult. But today we're just gonna do side to sides with a hold and a knee going in and out. So the step up with dumbbells, I do a little bit differently. I make sure I do a march on the top of the bench every time, just to like make sure my body knows where all the weight needs to go. Keeps the balance in that front foot and keeps, everything active and in alignment. Like I love the All In podcast, it's great, or like a Dax Shepard podcast, but when it comes to working out, I just need upbeat music. I mean, even just, what's my go-to? I like a nice house music is good, or like a tropical house, like just something that keeps the mood up and makes me want to be there. Or some nice 90s like R&B remixes that are fun. Next, we have some side lunges. I'll usually use 2 dumbbells, maybe 25 pounds each, but today I'm gonna use a kettlebell. And it's really all about form, making sure that 90-degree angle in your leg that's stepping out and engaging your entire leg that's supposed to be active. I know a lot of gyms don't have quad machines, the seated quad machine. So I like to get on like a higher bench and grab either a kettlebell that can fit on your shoe and do single leg quad lift, or like a 40-pound weight that'll go between your feet, and then you lift and hold for about a second or a second and a half. It's kind of like cooking, I think, working out. It's like you have all these ingredients that you're putting into this dish, but if you forget one of them at the store and you have an alternative in your pantry or in your fridge, you can use it. Deadlifting, make sure you have the proper form. You're gonna hurt yourself if you don't. So go light, just use the bar, or you can even use a trap bar, which is great, and do 5 to 10 and just learn what feels good on your body. And so then I'm incorporating a burpee jump turn, which kind of gets your heart rate up, and it's just kind of a killer finisher. I'm Taylor Zakhar Perez, and thank you for joining me for my workout.